Hi there, crafty friends. In this video, I'm going to make a set of gingerbread houses, or I should say a row of gingerbread houses. So this wooden cutout I had gotten some time ago at Joann's. Obviously, they're not around anymore, but you could find wood cutouts for houses probably like at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, maybe Amazon. So I painted the houses in golden brown, and now I gave it 2 coats, and now I'm just giving it a light sanding with some brown paper. And I'm going to add some details with this white Posca pen. Now, if you guys haven't tried Posca pens, they're amazing for adding little details to your projects. They're so easy to work with. So I'm just adding dots or little dashes and lines, little squiggles to the door details, the windows, the edges of my house cutout here. And I'm just kind of speeding through this just so you don't have to watch all the details, but you get the idea. And I had fun with this, just making it a little whimsical. Now I'm using some tacky glue to add some faux sprinkles, and the faux sprinkles you can get on Amazon or Etsy. And I'm just using a toothpick and some tweezers there. It was the most effective way to do this because you just need a tiny little bit of glue for those sprinkles. So I'm adding those little peppermint sprinkles to the doors and the windows. And I'm actually kind of speeding through this part of the video just because it gets a little tedious watching all the little sprinkles be added on here. But you can just have fun with this. Use, your creative side just to add all these fun details. This was actually very reminiscent of working on a traditional gingerbread house, when I was a kid, or doing it with my kids when they were younger. And here I'm just adding like some white, red, and green sprinkles. And unfortunately, I didn't get this on my phone, but I added one of these little gingerbread men, and this is from a pack from Hobby Lobby. And it is a sticker, so it has sticky on the back, but I also added tacky glue just to be sure it would stay on there. And this little sign says Mr. and Mrs. Claus. I think Mr. and Mrs. Claus Bakery. I can't remember exactly what it says. But it was the perfect sign to add to this project. And I had just gotten this little sign from some other craft that I had. I had taken it off of something. So that was kind of a standing sign. So where the pole had been that held up that sign, there was just some raw wood there. So I mixed 2 red paints that I had to match and paint that little patch there. And I'm going to again use tacky glue to glue it to the houses. And I want it right there on top of that doorway. And I'm just getting it exactly where I want. And then I'm going to add some glue and adhere it to the house. So the reason why I like tacky glue for this sort of project is because, well, we all know that hot glue doesn't last forever, and these little pieces are so small that hot glue would kind of be messy and it would ooze out from underneath the pieces. So obviously the tacky glue can ooze out too, but you can easily wipe it away since it has a longer dry time. So I'm just getting it centered there, getting it to in the spot where I think it looks the best. So this is it so far. Now I'm going to use some puff paint in the color white, and that will be like the icing on my gingerbread houses. Now you can use other things instead of the puff paint. You can use lightweight spackle mixed with some white paint. That would probably be a little bit more cost effective than the puffy paint that I'm using. There's also a recipe for puffy snow. It's just 1 part Mod Podge, 1 part baking soda, and 1 part white paint. And you can use that recipe, and once you spread it onto your surface, you dry it with like a hair dryer or a heat tool, and that will actually make the mixture puff up because of the baking soda. But for this, I just decided to use the puffy paint. It was just there, it was easy to do, and I go across the whole roof of the houses. And here I'm just getting to the end, and I'm using a toothpick just to kind of spread it out. Now you'll see there right underneath my hand, I had some little candy canes that I thought of adding to the house, but in the end I didn't. I just wanted to keep it simple, and I thought with the sprinkles and the gingerbread man, I thought it was enough. So here I'm adding some puff paint to the front of the roof line, and I'm trying to kind of make it like zigzag just to give it a more drippy look. But this container of puff paint is on the bigger side, so the nozzle was a little bit bigger, so it was kind of hard for me to get some of the details to be clear. I've had another bottle of puffy paint that was smaller, and so the nozzle was smaller and it was a little bit easier to work with. But anyway, this did the job. So I'm getting to the end of the roof, and then I'll go in with my toothpick again just to kind of blend in the puff paint from the front with the puff paint on the top. There was a very clear separation there, so I just kind of wanted to blend it in. And then with the puff paint that I have on the toothpick, I'm adding it to that sign. The little sign already had some icing detail, but I thought it would be cuter just to get this more dimensional paint on there. So what I showed there was some diamond dust. If you haven't worked with diamond dust, they are small shards of glass. I've never cut myself with them, but I am extra careful. So I'm just going to use the little spoon there to just sprinkle it on. And diamond dust really gives such a beautiful sparkle to your projects. I like it a lot better than just regular glitter. So I just try to be careful and make sure I catch the excess. And you'll see here at the end I have it on a table, and you'll see how it looks all finished up. So you'll have to tell me in the comments if you like making these sorts of gingerbread projects, if you have worked with puffy paint before, how you like that, and if you have worked with diamond dust. And I bet if you've worked with it before, you absolutely love it just like I do. So I'd like to thank you for watching this video today. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll have some more fun DIYs. Thanks for watching.